Well, it's morning of the fourth day. Got about close to 7.5 miles left to go. On my way out, I'll see if I come across any other trails that look interesting. It's really just probably about 3 hours maybe till I get to the truck, so I got plenty of time. Don't really have anything else planned for today except for picking up a pizza or two on the way out. Made it to the intersection of the MSG and the Five Summers Trail. This is the trail that I went on yesterday. When I went down to Pillsbury State Park, I followed the trail out and came up the mountain here, and it joins up with the MSG here. Headed up the mountain here. On the other side of the mountain, there's a Lake Solitude. Last September, I did this part. The rest of the trip from here on out, I did it with Bear, and she did pretty amazing. So there's 3 sections I like about this. One is Lake Solitude, which is really nice. 2, there's like a small ridge line on the top here, where it's like a partial bald mountain, but a little ridge line that you walk across, and then the third one is definitely a Mount Sunapee. The views from there are just absolutely amazing. Right now I'm at Lucia's Lookout. It's at 2,500 feet of elevation. We're probably about 4 miles from Mount Sunapee, maybe a mile or 2 from Lake Solitude. From this lookout, there's some really great views, and straight out there, and I'll try and zoom in, you can see Mount Monadnock. So that's where we started on Thursday morning, so just a little over 3 days ago. So that's how far we've come. So I'll give you a look. So just over this hill in front of us, there's like 3 more mountains you can vaguely see behind it. So the last one, the third one, the highest one, that's Mount Monadnock. This is the way we're headed. This is another lookout spot. That bald-faced part of the mountain over there, I think that's that part of that ridge line that I was talking about. It doesn't go that far. It's just you're kind of walking on top of some bald mountains, I guess, for a little bit. So that should be Mount Sunapee there. I think we made it to this kind of the bald mountain section where this little ridgeline, not so much of a ridgeline, just kind of bald mountain part. This right in front of me, when we were here last year, when I had Bear out here, I went to go, she was at the bottom of this big boulder here. I went to go pick her up to hoist her up on top, and before I could grab her, she jumped that whole thing. It's probably, I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet high or so. So she did really good here. I think she did better than me getting up this thing. But headed on out. I think we're almost at Lake Solitude. Holy cow, we look at this view. It's starting to clear up, the sun's coming out, the haziness is starting to dissipate. This is the east side of Mount Sunapee. So the main summit at Mount Sunapee, which is like the ski resort, you get more of a northerly view. So this is the eastern side of the mountain. So you can see part of the north as well as a big shot along the east and south. All right, made it to Solitude Lake. I believe the summit of Mount Sunapee is about 2.5 miles from here. So this is just the beginning part of Lake Solitude. So it goes down. One of the guys I ran into on the trail, he said this is a good swimming spot on the other side. There's a good swimming hole area. So I'm going to check to see if there is a trail that goes around this. If so, I'm going to follow that around. I did run into my first bit of snow. It was just a small patch, maybe a foot or so, a couple inches deep. I did think I'd probably see some snow because when I parked my car Wednesday when we dropped it off, I saw that the slope still had some snow on them. So I don't know if the main trail going down the mountain will, but we'll see. Right now I'm at the bottom of Mount Sunapee. I started at the top of Mount Sunapee. I came down this Andrew Brook Trail, also known as the Newberry Trail. It goes from the top of Mount Sunapee down the eastern slope to Newberry, New Hampshire. It was just a new trail I saw, wanted to check out today, so came down here. I didn't realize when I started it, though, that meant I'm going to be going, basically going up and down Mount Sunapee 3 times a day. So I just made my first leg of the trip. Now I'm going to head back up the same trail to get back to the summit of Mount Sunapee, you know, take a look at the nice view on top there at the ski resort, and then go down the other side on the northern slope, which is where I'm parked. So I got about 5 or 6 miles to go up Mount Sunapee and then down the other side to my car. Made it back to the junction of Andrew Brook Trail and or the Newberry Trail and the MSG. Now headed onto the top to get some good views from the top of the ski resort. Well, we're not quite at the top of Mount Sunapee, almost there, but this is the best viewpoint, or one of the best viewpoints from the top of Mount Sunapee, and there is still snow on the ski slopes. I'm not sure which run this is, but I'm standing on the ski slopes at Mount Sunapee right now, the Sunapee Ski Resort. So out in the distance there, the mountain range further south, that's the White Mountains. So this is the north-facing direction from Mount Sunapee. The last good viewpoint that we had, that was the eastern side. Also down there, that is Lake Sunapee. Well, I'm headed down the last mountain for my trip. I got about 2 miles to go, and the north side of Mount Sunapee is just as muddy as the east side. There have been so many mud pits that I've had to get around. This is actually not bad compared to some of the ones that I just passed. But yep, about another 2 miles to go. Well, I just made it down to the bottom of Mount Sunapee, and my trip's over, my first through hike complete. Today was 13.4 miles. Overall distance for the 4 days was 80.2. So thanks for following along with my adventure. Appreciate you watching.